Hi, guys. Oh, wow, I am extremely nervous because I know that I am going to get so much backlash and disrespect and name calling, and probably not even for what I have to say, just by how I look right now. But I have to say what's on my heart. It's late right now. I was actually in the bed, um, reading some replies to comments that I've made, and it's like something has to be said over excuse me, over okay, and bear with me. I may ramble a lot and jump from topic to topic because my mind moves so fast. I probably should have taken notes, but then it's hard for me to say everything I feel like saying when I'm reading notes. So let me just say how I feel. And as you can see, I am a black woman. I am not black women. I am not responsible for black women. I am not responsible for black men. When my children grow up and become adults, I will no longer be responsible for them. Anyway, so it's Mother's Day. This past weekend and for the last few days, I've been watching Tommy Sotomayor's videos only because bored or needed something to watch, and I how one of the suggestions one of his videos was given to me as a suggestion to watch when I was watching Lovely Tea 2002 or 2013. Now, some of the things that he says, I can absolutely agree with on how black people are and on how black families are being torn apart. But then there's also this, he you speak on how black women are joining in with the scheme or the plan of the white man to take the black men out of black families, but not even realizing you're doing the same thing by disrespecting black women. By disrespecting black women as a whole, putting them down as a whole, people are very impressionable, obviously. And people are watching these videos solely to hear you degrade and disrespect black women, to where if you say something about someone else or another race or another gender or gay people, oh no, that's not okay. You could talk all you want about black women, that's not okay. You're reinforcing the stereotypes for them to judge every single black woman that they see. Now, you do say, well, if it's not you, then you shouldn't get upset. But then you felt some kind of way for black women not coming to your aid when that white woman was calling you a nigger in the chat room. She wasn't talking to them, so why should they feel some kind of way? And actually, she had a greater common denominator with them than they had with you, and that was being a woman. Because being a woman, we get abused by men. I'm not saying men don't get abused by women. That's not what this video is about. So why don't you make a video about that? Because I know it's going to be somebody, well, men do this to me. Well, you do a video about that because I'm doing a video about this. Women have that common denominator of being women. And something that I've noticed is that women are starting to stick together a little bit more nowadays. And there are more men coming against women, even of their own race. I got into it with a white guy because he thought since I was a black woman, I was going to accept the fact that of him putting down white women. And I'm like, but that's your woman. I'm not going to sit here and listen to you put down your own race of women. Like, that's supposed to make me feel better about myself. Like, if you put down your own mother, your own race to quote unquote impress me, who will you put me down for to impress? I'm actually about unity and uniting as a people. And you cannot unite as a people being disrespectful or putting down anyone. You cannot. You cannot say black families need to stick together. They need to do this and we need to rise in the community and do this. But then say every single action a black man does is a black woman's fault. When it starts with a man first. Tommy Sotomayor said himself that the woman cannot lead. So why not encourage the man to? Instead, you're encouraging men to continue to disrespect black women, to continue to treat them as sex objects, to continue to treat them like shit, when that's how they got this way in the first place. Let's think about it. Let's just really think about it. This independent, I don't need a man type attitude. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Why do they feel like that? Like, could it have been some girls grew up watching their mother being abused by their fathers, by their black fathers, or being cheated on while their mothers lied and covered it up? And they're like, you know what? I'd rather have no man than to deal with that. And then it's just something that they're taught to not depend on a man. Because what if something happens to that man? Then what are you going to do as a woman? Everything falls on you as a woman. The children falls on you. The household falls on you. He can leave any given day. It all falls on you. And that's basically what you're reinforcing by saying every action of a man is the woman's fault. So when she has that, well, then I need to be the daddy, mama, and the daddy. I need to take full responsibilities on both have attitude. She's wrong for that. But that's what you're telling her she needs to be. It does not make sense. At the end of the day, everyone has flaws. Everyone has things that we need to work on. It's no one's fault for what anyone else does. Period. There is a such thing as free will. You choose to be how you want to be. Little history of myself. I've always been very different from my mother. My mother is ghetto. My mother's hood. My mother is who she is. I've always been different from her. And one thing I can say I respect about her the most is she allowed me to be the goody two shoes I've always been. She didn't make me feel bad about it. Excuse me. She didn't condemn me about it. She was just like, that's who she is. I chose to be something different from my mother. I chose to be something different from my family. Now, yes, I've made some of the same exact mistakes they have. Yes, I have. hmm But the mistakes are not what make you. How you handle those mistakes, that helps determine who you are. That right there. It's like I learned in my mind early on that nobody really gives a fuck about you. That you cannot force anyone to do anything. So when I became pregnant with my first child, I didn't try to force her father to do anything. I never have. Never. Told him from day one, look, you can't buy her anything, that's fine, just spend time. He can't seem to do that because of whatever his feelings are towards me. So in his mind, everything is my fault. Him being 31, never having his own place, never being able to keep a job, never being able to do anything is my fault because I wouldn't take care of him. Because by him getting me pregnant, that meant that not only was I responsible for the child I was carrying, but I was responsible for him too. Now, people say, well, hey, that was your choice for having a baby by him. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And I chose to leave it just as that. That's it. That's it. I chose to leave it just as that. Why continue to make the same, more mistakes on top of them mistakes? There's too many women that are being abused, that are being mistreated, that are being neglected, but hiding it just to have a man around, just to have the father of their child around. And yes, it's more so in other races than it is in black women because black women have gotten to a point where they're not going to take it anymore. And now I'm seeing a lot of other races of women are getting to a point they're not going to take it anymore, but they're taking that shit to the extreme. Just leave. But anyway, I'm coming back to what I originally wanted to say because a lot of the things that Tommy says is that black women want to be favored by white people. Black people, period, want to be favored by white people. Because it seemed like to me, that's why black men, or you specifically, are putting down white black women to be favored. Like, okay, I'm tired of them ragging. I'm talking about black men as a whole. I'm tired of them ragging on me as a black man. As black men. So let's put the black women under the bus. Let's blame them for everything. Let's say everything was their fault. Talk about damn, don't talk about me. It's not my fault my mom was fucked up. It's not my fault my mom was fucked up and probably became fucked up because her daddy was fucked up. No, 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 no. Blame yourself. You're fucked up because you're fucked up. I don't care. I don't care what your mama did, what your daddy did, what your auntie did, what your uncle did. You are fucked up because you are fucked up. There are fucked up mothers in the world, yes. There are fucked up fathers in the world, yes. There are double standards every which way it goes that favor men, that favor women, that go against men, that go against women. Yes, yes, yes. That's life. But sitting here as a person on the internet and just bashing one particular group is not going to change anything. All that's going to do is make things worse. Because think about it. If you're telling the whole world as a black man, black women ain't shit, black women fucked up, all black women is, I fucking hate black women that, and you're a black man, that means you came from a black woman. Wait a minute. So if this black man is telling me black women ain't shit, black women this and this, and he came from a black woman, so black men not shit. Black men are horrible. Black men, I'm just saying this as a person of another race because there are people here in America in small little towns and cities that really don't know what's going on as far as the white and black racial thing going on. And I know that sounds crazy, but I've come across people that really don't know our specific history as far as slavery, as far as Dr. Martin Luther King. They really do not know. They don't know. They don't. Grew up in these little towns where it was only one or two black people and they got along with everybody, and and then they get on the internet and then they see what people have to say, people grouping everyone into one little ball, and by them not knowing much about that race, they want to believe that, they formulate their opinion on that, they teach their children that. And as a mother, I try to be very careful with what I say, especially in these videos. Now, yeah, some of my older videos are my older videos. Hi. You thirsty? You're gonna have to sleep by yourself eventually, Mom. But anyway, they can. Hey, you coming? You not coming with me? Oh, my baby. Oh, my honey. You guys haven't seen Mia since she was a little bitty baby. Hmm. I'm not gonna edit this video. I don't even think I have that same editing software. You okay? Where's my baby? um, Basically all I'm saying is that, am I done? Do I need to lay down with you? Basically all I'm saying is that these videos can be watched later on by future generations. And the things that Mr. Tommy says about black women will be seen by his daughter, who will be a black woman. And it doesn't matter if you're a part of that 10 percentile that's different. People will group you with that 90 based on similarities. Something in your mouth? What's that? Can I see? Babe. I had a whole lot more to say, but I guess I'm gonna have to finish this another time. I'm gonna lay with my baby. But all I basically want to say is it starts with you. One person. When you project evil, you get evil. When you project negativity, you get negativity. You're not going to make a change. No one is going to make a change by ridiculing or putting anyone else down. Yeah, there's a such thing called tough love. There's a such thing called brutally honest. But then it goes to a point of being cruel, demeaning, and disrespectful. Who does that really help? No one. All that does is further break down our community and our community as a people. We all live here together. And as dark as I am, which I'm not this dark, because she's actually a lot lighter than what she seems on this camera, but we're all some sort of mixture. My great grandmother is white. So it's like, to really break us down into race and try to have us against each other because of race, when we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for each other. Not just because of our heritage or our genetics, but think about science, medicine. Think about all the contribution every race has made to help America to be what it is. Same thing as far as gender, both men and women. But everyone is just so, no one wants to take the responsibility for what they do. They just want to blame it on someone else, whether it's someone of the opposite gender, someone of the opposite race, their parents, and that's bullshit. Our kids are going to be screwed. This is going to be the worst generation yet. The worst. Everyone is hurt. Everyone is hurt. Everyone has been through some type of abuse, and it's just been passed down. Their sickness, their sick way of thinking has just been passed down. And that's what the problem is. You see Shallow Hal? Perfect example. Perfect example. That man's father was drugged up and on all type of medication, and he told his son some crazy stuff that his son took to heart. And that's kind of how it is. Think about the generation when the black family began to deteriorate. Uncle Joe, Uncle Paul may have molested Sally. She may have even gotten pregnant. And she taught that child not to trust men. She taught that child that she used to see her mother get beat and abused by men. Men not shit. Don't trust a man. Stand up for yourself. See, that's how black women became so loud and rowdy. Tired of being walked over, tired of being disrespected, tired of not being heard. So they're gonna make sure they're heard. But then throughout the years, they still want to be heard. But the quality of what they had to say really wasn't worth listening to. But that whole attitude of being heard was still there. When Sally may have been teaching her daughter to scream loud in order for your rights to be heard, her daughter may have taught her daughter to scream loud in order to be heard, missing that rights part. And it just continued and continued until it got to my generation, was just scream loud to be heard. I'm not a loud person. I'd rather not be. I'm the kind of person where I'm not going to argue, fight with you. I'll leave. I'll hang up. People hate that from me. Like, I've met so many guys that would rather me sit there and argue and cuss them out than to be like, you know what? I'll talk to you later. It's like expected. And when you don't do it, it's something wrong with you. So it's like I'm getting outcast on both sides. I'm being outcast from being different as a black woman, but then I'm being outcast because I'm being judged to be the same as a black woman. So now, as a black woman, it's like the world is changing to make it easier for black men and harder for black women. And this thing about things being easier for women with children, let me tell you one thing. If a man is a single father, he has every single right and every single opportunity as a single mother does. Every single program that a single mother can get into, a single father can get into. So it's not a program for a single mother, it's a program for a single parent. Get that correct. Because that's irritating me too. Just like this guy was asking me last night, because I told him about my friend and I told him about this domestic violence shelter that can help her do this and do that. He was like, what about me? What about men? How come they can't help men? Why don't men develop a shelter to help men who experienced abuse? These are women that are running these shelters for women. So men, you want some of the same things that women have, get up off your ass and create it. Like, I mean, that's just how I feel. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's my plantation way of thinking, because according to the people that's been leaving me comments, it's a woman's fault when she gets pregnant. It's not the man's fault. He's not in control of his penis. She is. And it's like men do some of the most foul things. When I was younger, like 19, messed around with the older guy. And honestly, I really didn't want to, but that's not the point. Demanded him to use a condom. Slipped the condom off without me even knowing it. But according to a man, a woman is supposed to be able to feel the difference. You're supposed to be able to feel when a man is ejaculating in you. So therefore, you knew when it was okay. Just like it was always a woman's fault for a man to rape her. Oh, what did you do? You asked for it. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. Everybody is hurting. And that hurt is what's causing them to go insane and to do the crazy shit that they're doing. We should be focusing more on healing people than putting them down. Because those that are putting people down, they're putting them down because they're hurting. Tommy Sotomayor, he's hurting. That's all that it is. You can't save the world until you save yourself. And you can't save yourself until you realize you need saving. And this is a long video. I wonder if I'm even going to be brave enough to post this. I like a chocolate bar. I always do on this camera. And then something else I've noticed, black women feeling the need to, well, I went to Harvard University and I have this and I have to defend themselves, to make themselves seem different. That's really not making you seem any different. They don't care. They don't care. Like, women are at the bottom of the barrel regardless of race. Period. Regardless of race. Women are at the bottom of the barrel. Women are treated like they're not shit. Without judging. Black, white, Mexican. And then what? White women want to feel like they got over getting a black man. Black women want to feel like they got over getting a white man. And then on the news, what do you see? Black men killing their white wives. White men killing their black wives. So is it really the race of the people that's causing the problem? No. 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 It's the people of the people that's causing the problem. We need to be like X-Men and unite. I done. Bye, guys. Until next year when I do another video. I have several videos down here I see that I recorded that I didn't post. Oh, no.